Hey, what is going on, everyone? So glad you took your time to spend with me right here today. You are watching the Make Rock and Bolt Show. I'm your co-host, Mike McRock Wilson, and right now I'm going to give you the results and my review of last night's episode of NXT. Last night, Bray Wyatt won a match against Yoshitatsu, and then got Eric Rowan and Luke Harper to get in the ring and sort of settle their differences, so to speak, by giving them kind of what they needed and that was to punch each other, and then he told them to stop. Based on what happened last week when they lost to Oliver Gray and Adrian Neville to become the new NXT Tag Team Champions. And with that being said, with those three in the ring, even though it is so bizarre, it is out of this world, out of this planet, it is so interesting to watch, and then that is one of the things that gets me interested into watching NXT. And if you haven't really watched NXT, you really gotta take the time to sit down and watch this 1 hour show, because if you are a fan of wrestling, this is the show to watch, believe me. Xavier Woods won a match against El Local, a luchador from Mexico. And Tyson Kidd came out last night. He is out with an injury. And he mentioned about something that CM Punk called him a few weeks ago, and that was a workhorse. And he mentioned that that a workhorse isn't really just a catchphrase. It is a thing he lives by, and he believes that hard work does pay off. And he kind of mentioned that CM Punk, love him or hate him, you have to respect him. And he actually liked what CM Punk mentioned about him as well. Now, one of my favorite things on NXT is the Divas. And with that being said, how does a 1 hour show, now listen very closely, how does a 1 hour show like NXT get 3 segments of Divas, whereas Raw, which is a 3 hour episode, either gets 1 or none segments of the Divas? There is definitely something wrong with the logic behind that. And with that being said, what happened was Sasha Banks was interviewed. Audrey Marie attacked her from behind. They both had a match later in which Audrey Marie won. And last week, Summer Rae attacked. It was actually 2 weeks ago. Summer Rae attacked Paige after she sort of accidentally bumped her from behind. And last week, she bet the undefeated Paige. And then with the two of them going back and forth, Paige is out with an injury. Summer Rae doing a backstage interview with Renee Young. And the way everything is going with the Divas on NXT, major props. 2 thumbs up, as Roger Ebert would say. And the main event was Conor O'Brien versus the NXT champion Big E Langston. Even though he is on Raw, he is also the NXT champion. This is cool. This is interesting. And the rivalry between these two, not just the rivalry, but the match itself was so intense. It was so gripping. It was so interesting to watch. Even at the first few minutes, when the two of them were in the corners, looking and gazing at each other, ready to explode, and then the big lockup. That was interesting. I love the build-up to a match like that. Even though it is a non-title match, I like how it ended, because the referee kind of got in the middle, and the two of them kind of like shoved him down. It was a double disqualification, but they were still going at it. And this is really interesting, and it looked like Big E got the one-up, so to speak, on Conor O'Brien, even though, no winner took place there. And then out from behind was Corey Graves that took out Big E Langston. and it looks like the title picture of the NXT Championship is forming into a triple threat sometime in the near future between Corey Graves, Conor O'Brien, and the champ Big E Langston. And I really like where this is going because it gives prestige to the NXT Championship. Well, that is my review on last night's NXT episode. I'm your co-host, Mike Mick Rock Wilson, for the Mick Rock and Bolt Show. Get plenty of rest and always do your best.